Hi, I'm Steve Rowe, CEO at Oaknoll. I'm recording this video the afternoon of Thursday, February 26th. Hopefully it will be uploaded and available to you sometime on Friday, February 27th. I'm going to start by apologizing for my voice. I was fighting a cold about a little over a week ago, and that got compounded by me not being able to control myself at Iowa basketball games and yelling too much at the referees. So I'm still dealing with that, and hopefully my voice will hold out for a few minutes as I record this video. I want to start by thanking Retha Haas and Taylor Wheeler for providing updates the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to provide a very quick update on COVID and influenza within our community. To the best of our knowledge, we have no residents who are COVID positive or who have influenza currently, and we have one staff member who is currently COVID positive. That individual is following our protocols for staying away from work for some period of time and then safely returning to work at the appropriate time. The last time I recorded, I was about to leave for an annual golf trip with friends to Florida, and I have had a very busy 2 weeks since I've been back in the office. Our monthly board meeting happened yesterday morning, Wednesday at 7 a.m., and the preparation for that board meeting typically takes about 10 to 12 hours in the week leading up to the meeting, so I was focused on that. We also kicked off our strategic planning process this week, and we had 2 consultants from a firm called CLA, Kathy Schweiger and Chad Kuntz, who were here. They actually came in Monday afternoon, and I met them for dinner Monday evening, and then I spent pretty much all day on Tuesday with them, just kind of orienting them to our Oaknoll community. So we toured all over the main campus, all of the different additions that have happened through the years for independent living. We went through assisted living, we went through the short stay unit, the loft, long-term care, and then when we had seen everything at the main campus, we went across the street to 1201, the new nursing building. We went from there over to One University Place and looked at some of the condos that we have. From there, I drove them to the Oaknoll West property, and I wanted them to experience the land that we own for some future expansion down the road if the city of Iowa City ever grows into that area. And from there, we went over to Oaknoll East and looked at some apartments at Oaknoll East, and then finally the land that we are in process of buying for the Oaknoll East proposed expansion. So tried to give them a really good picture of who we are, how we got to where we are here in 2026, and so spent pretty much all day on Tuesday with them. Then on Wednesday, they observed our board meeting, so they were there at 7 o'clock with our board members. Following the board meeting, they did a focus group conversation with our board of directors and spent about a little over an hour with our board members, maybe an hour and a half. From there, they went and did a focus group conversation with our leadership team members, and then immediately after that, they did a focus group conversation with our resident council members. So trying to get them as grounded as they can be in our community as it exists today, and get lots of different perspectives from the board, from residents, from leaders within the organization. They will start to share information with me as they go back and kind of compile everything that they've received, and eventually that will be kind of the fodder for a off-site planning meeting that is yet to come, and maybe a couple of them as we kind of sift through the priorities of the organization and figure out what are the next major things that we need to try to accomplish. So you'll hear a lot more about that in the weeks and months to come, but that process did start with the CLA people being here this week. The most exciting thing that I've done over the last couple of weeks is I have signed lots of contracts. We had been working hard to try to find matches for the spaces that we had available, and that work finally culminated with us signing 5 contracts since last Thursday. So in the past 7 days, we've signed 5 contracts that have a value of almost $2 million in new life care contracts. We should sign another one tomorrow, and most likely we'll sign a 7th contract early next week. So we have found matches for pretty much everything that we have available at this moment in time for independent living apartments, and it feels really, really good to be at a much higher percentage of our full year plan after all these contracts have been signed. When Retha recorded, I think a week ago, she shared the news about Bruce's retirement coming up this summer. And if you haven't heard already, we have filled Bruce's position. We have hired Juan Casco, our executive chef, to be our new dining services director. In order for him to move into that role, we first need to kind of backfill his position. So we've started to look to fill the executive chef position. But Juan has been with us for more than 10 years. He started at Oaknoll shortly before we opened the Spring building, and has been with us for all of that time, doing a great job as the lead person for the back of the house, leading all of our cooks, coming up with menus, all of that good stuff. So we're really excited to have Juan in that position, and that he's growing in his career as well. In my last recording 3 weeks ago, I shared with you how much I hate the cold. So I had escaped in January, I escaped in February, and I'm going to have one more escape coming up next week. My wife and I are headed to Cancun on Saturday. With all the craziness that's been going on in Mexico recently, we weren't sure earlier this week if we were going to go, but the Cancun area, there's a travel advisory at level 2, which just basically says exercise caution. But I don't know that it's ever been different than that any time that we've ever visited Mexico. So we had planned on doing some day trips out of Cancun. I've never actually been to the Mayan ruins, and I was hoping to do that on this trip, but that will have to wait for a future trip. So we'll go from the airport to the resort, stay at the resort pretty much, lounging by the pool, laying on the beach, eating good food, and then going back to the airport and flying home a week later. We'll be safe. I'm confident and refreshed, and hopefully by the time we get back, it's almost spring. Last thing, I just want to update you on our pregnancies. My daughter-in-law, Alex, this coming Sunday, she will be 35 weeks pregnant, and my daughter, Allie, will be 19 weeks pregnant on Sunday. So they're both progressing, doing just fine, and hopefully, I hope that the next time I record, we don't have a baby yet, but 2 times from then, hopefully we do have a new, healthy baby boy that we can share with you. So that's everything I have for you. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk with you again in a couple of weeks. Take care.